All right, today I'm going to be going over some new functionality in Para. We're going to go over the array linker, and you can find that under the plus, add-ons, and array linker. And essentially what the array linker does is it will link one or more arrays. So if you're dealing with more than one array, it can link those two arrays, or if you're dealing with one system like I'll be showing you today, it can link specific objects within that array. Okay, so the first thing I'll need to do is link the para node to the linker, and then I'll, since in my specific case the parent and the child are in the same array, we will connect the para node to the parent as well as the child. So from here we're going to need to define what the parent is and then what the child is, and I'll do that through a link controller. So I'll select this link controller and I'll just rename that to parent for reference, and then I'll create another one which will represent the child. And I'll rename that child. Okay, so next we need to feed the parent and the child into our array linker, and since we've already gone ahead and renamed them, we can just take the node and go right into our parent and then into the child. So I'd like to move, I'd like to have this array shift in multiple directions. So to do that, I'm going to copy this linker, this array linker, and paste. And what this will allow me to do is when I start manipulating or rotating or using my transform options, I can move in more than one direction. So and then since the parent will be the same, I'll also need to create a new child. So I can just select that and then come up here to make unique, and now I've got that selected. So essentially what that means is I'd like this child to move in D1, so I'll rename that D1, and then I want this child to move in D2, and this will make a little bit more sense when I start to make my manipulations. Child D2. Okay, so in order for this to move in direction D2, I'll need to update the parameters. So I'll have next item in D2, and then I'll come down to D1 and make sure that this is also in D1. The parent can remain at default, so we can keep that at corresponding item and keep that also at the internal link. Okay, so the next thing I'll need to do is select both of my linkers and go to the control panel, and then I'll need to chain the children to the parents. And essentially what this does is it'll activate it. Alright, so now that this is set, I can go to my para node. So I only want the rotation selected, so I can select this specific rotation and then just come up here and begin to manipulate. And you can see that the array is now shifting in D1 and D2 directions.